reality TV actor, a disc jockey, a reality TV actor, and an entrepreneur. John received his business degree in 2002, just 10 years ago. He is from Bogalusa, where he started his own DJ business as a teenager, working dances at area high schools. He now owns and operates Rocket Productions, a high-tech DJ company he founded after his graduation from Southeastern. Shortly afterwards, he started See Here Productions that offers lighting, sound, and stage for large events, and he does many festivals and events at the Superdome. Venturing into acting, John was the co-star of the VH1 reality television show Tough Love that was set in New Orleans. He had appearances in HBO's popular Treme series. He has appeared in an international print media advertising campaign with Chrysler. In fact, you never know where John might show up, as we learned at our function at the Washington Parish Fair event last week when we heard a familiar voice, and there he was on the floor. In 2007, he opened a Snap Fitness Center in Bogalusa and later added a second Snap Fitness franchise in Lacombe. Quite a resume for a 34-year-old. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of Southeastern Young Alumnus for 2012, Mr. John Lejeune Jr., one of the best.
Well, that was quite an introduction.
I'm 34, by the way. I mean 33, not 34 yet.
2 weeks, but anyway. They asked me to say a little bit, and I started thinking, and what a better way to say it when I first started. So back when I was 11 or 12 is where I'll begin. So let me give you a little bit of a background in history, and then I'll jump into more things when SLU was involved. So at the age of 11 or 12, 1989, I started DJing at a skate rink in my area. I got paid $25 playing tapes. The lady that ran the place gave me the opportunity to sell candy at the same time, which none of y'all know this. This wasn't on my deal. So I was able to go with my mom to Sam's and get lemon heads and fireballs and fun dip and all this stuff. And I set this out on the table. And for 12 years old, I was making 20 to 40 bucks a night just selling candy, along with the $25 at the skate rink. So 12 years old, I was rolling in the dough. So I moved this candy thing onto my junior high school, in which the principal found out finally. And he realized I was competing with the concession stand. So instead of selling candy, it was like I was selling crack. He busted my butt. You can't sell anymore. So anyway, that's how it all began. I want to thank my mom and dad on the way up around 14 or 15. They financed some professional speakers for me after I started doing some smaller events. And I paid it back within about a year. 18, started SLU college life. Party City. Not quite. At 18, I also purchased 2 sound systems. I had my second sound system by then, and I asked a high school buddy to start work with me. I also financed a green laser. I was always looking for something new and exciting to add to the DJ company. So I added this green laser, and nobody had this. It was an effect with green lasers in the air, and I would go to all the high schools around and show them videos, and they had to have this green laser system. So I paid that back in about a year. You know, and when I was like 19, people didn't really take me. They were like, oh, you're DJing, you know, what's up with that? You know, you're gonna do this the rest of your life? And I questioned myself. I was like, am I really gonna do this the rest of my life? And I looked around, I was like, I'm making more money than most of these guys. And I'm like, well, why not? Let me keep going with it. So in the midst, between my classes here at Southeastern, I had a pager on my side and the computer. I had my own phone line and a computer, and it would page me every time I got a message. So in between classes, I'd run out and book events. I'd run back in, and I was always targeted, and they always got ticked off at me. But they dealt. So it went on, and let's see. While most of my friends were partying at Chevy's on Thursday nights in 1998, 99, 2000, 2001, I was driving back to where I lived at a little local joint I was working at, making money. I didn't get to party as much as my friends in college. But that was good, because now I have a little bit extra, and I have a couple things I can have fun with. 2002, my year of graduation at Southeastern. Senior Productions began. Me and a friend started. That went through several ups and downs, and now there's 7 owners of it. It's a national company now. They're doing several things, and like I said, there's now 7 owners because we need more financing and all kinds of things. I built a large metal building in 2003, 2004, which realized I could lease it back to my own companies, which that was a money maker. And at the age of 22 and on, now we have 6 sound systems, karaoke setups, light systems, video projection, we do DJ trivia, and in 2004 we went to all computerized music from CDs, went tapes to CDs to music, to computers. On and on and on. 2007 was the opening of Snap Fitness in Bogalusa. In college, I took 3 workout classes, the same one, just to give me a reason to work out during the day and keep me motivated. With Dan the Man, I don't know if y'all remember him, but I always like to work out. So I had this place kind of by where I live, and I used to work out in this old workout equipment. And I thought, why isn't there any newer equipment around here? And I started thinking, why don't I open a gym? I like to work out, at least I'll have a place to work out. So I started looking, and I looked into this other franchise called Anytime Fitness, and somebody already bought the area, so I couldn't buy in. Immediately I knew if I did not jump on this right away, that I was done. So I went and looked for another franchise, which is Snap Fitness, which I went for. So that's successful. 2009, we opened one in Macomb, me and a buddy of mine. And in the last couple of years with the DJ company, we added photo booth services, advanced video and computer software. All kinds of things are happening in just the DJ market that you won't even dream of as far as technology. So currently, I did the tough love, as I said, and several of that, so I'm not going to get into that. And back to Southeastern. You know, I didn't rush through. I was on the 5-year plan, but I was working. So, you know, everybody says slow learners back in the day. It's not anymore. I mean, this university, I've worked here since I've graduated, and I've noticed all the things that have happened, and all of the graduates, and you know, the attitudes of when I'm doing parties and stuff like that. And everybody just is so positive about Southeastern. You know, in football now, we didn't have that when I was there, but now, you know, alumni, the graduates, everybody, they're in love with it now. You know, it's great. Some of the classes that helped. You know, in business, I can't remember which ones they were, but we had franchise classes. I didn't know anything about franchises, but I remember that little bit about franchises, which helped me jump into the franchise market. We learned supply and demand, quality of service, dependability. It's not always about quantity, it's about quality. And also, another thing I figured out was when I was in school. This is kind of funny because I found out a way to get some free information. We did phone parties and all kinds of stuff too during the midst of all this, which is where they filled the dance floor with phone and people dancing. And it was a trend back in 2000. We did it at Mules here a couple of times. Okay, so I was worried about liability. So instead of hiring an attorney, I would go to my business classes and hit up my business law professors and ask them as many questions that I could for free. So I figured that out on everything while I was here. I would go back and use it for real live situations instead of just for the future. And 2 more things. First of all, I wanted to go to college because I knew it would help my business and my future businesses. And second of all, I wanted a fallback plan too. So if my business did fail, which is always that chance, which I didn't think they would, I could always go work for somebody else with a degree. And I always recommend going to college, even if you have your own business or anything already. Especially Southeastern, right? Anyone else? English class was very boring for me. I hated English. Hated English. 101 was like high school. I was like, this is a breeze. It was either 102 or 232. So I'm turning in my papers. Here you go. And she turned it back to me the next day and said, you didn't finish it. With red marks all over it. Before you just turn it in and they take it. So I had to go research this every day. I use this every day now for email, mail. I use the stuff I learned in this English class every day of my life. So make sure you tell everybody to pay attention to English. And I think that's it. So I want to thank God, my parents, my friends for getting me where I am today, and just thank everyone.